All right. So that was a little something about myself and the Khwarizmi Science Society. If some of you are not members of Khwarizmi Science Society, I would highly recommend and highly encourage you to become members as well, because it'll not only give you, it'll not only make you access science related information easily, but it'll also enable you to give something back to the community. So let's go through the contents of this workshop. There is a lot that we're going to cover, but of course, today's session is going to be really simple, really introductory, जिसमें हम आपस में ज़्यादा बात कर रहे होंगे, linguistics के बारे में कम ही बात होगी, but जैसे जैसे अगले हमारे जो sessions हैं वो आते जाएंगे, चीज़ें जो है वो थोड़ी सी technical होती जाएंगी, but that's okay because I'm here to simplify things for you guys. So in today's session, we would cover what qualifies as a language. किस चीज को हम लैंग्वेज कह सकते हैं और किस चीज को हम लैंग्वेज नहीं कह सकते, कौन कौन से जानवर हैं जिनके अंदर लैंग्वेजेस एग्जिस्ट करते हैं, या फिर क्या हम सिर्फ एक ही स्पीसीज हैं जिनमें लैंग्वेज एग्जिस्ट करती है। हम इस तरह के सवालों के जवाब ढूंढेंगे। जो हमारा सेकंड सेशन होगा उसके अंदर हम ये देखेंगे कि एक लैंग्वेज को टेक्निकली किन डिफरेंट लेवल्स पे स्टडी किया जाता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल साउंड के लेवल पे, वर्ड के लेवल पे, सेंटेंस के लेवल पे, या फिर अबव सेंटेंस लेवल पे, लाइक स्पीचेस और बुक्स। सो देयर आर डिफरेंट लेवल्स ऑफ स्टडीइंग अ लैंग्वेज। उस चीज को हम कवर करेंगे हमारे नेक्स्ट सेशन में। उसके बाद वी वुड आल्सो इन्वेस्टिगेट व्हाई डू लैंग्वेजेस एग्जिस्ट इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस। क्योंकि लैंग्वेज एक ऐसी चीज है, या फिर जितनी टेक्निकल हमारी ह्यूमन लैंग्वेज है उतनी टेक्निकल किसी और जानवर के पास जो है लैंग्वेज नहीं है। सो हम इस चीज को थोड़ा सा इन्वेस्टिगेट करेंगे कि ऐसा क्यों है, इसकी क्या ओरिजिन है, एंड इन द सक्सेसिव सेशंस वी वुड आल्सो कवर कि इंसान का जो जहन है वो एक लैंग्वेज कैसे सीखता है, फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज कैसे सीखता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो छोटा बच्चा होता है वो लैंग्वेज कैसे एक्वायर करता है, और उसके बाद जब हम थोड़े थोड़े बड़े होते जाते हैं तो हम दूसरी लैंग्वेजेस सीखते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपने घर पे पंजाबी बोली हो विद योर पेरेंट्स एंड योर केयर गिवर्स, राइट, एंड देन स्कूल में जाके आपने उर्दू सीखी या इंग्लिश सीखी, तो हाउ डज द ब्रेन डू दैट? So how does a human brain acquire the first language and how does it acquire the second language? So these are two different processes. हम इनको थोड़ा सा investigate करेंगे। उसके अलावा हम इसके थोड़े से philosophical realm में भी जाएंगे कि um, does our language represent us? Does the language control our behavior? Does the language control our psychology? We would also learn how languages evolve, how languages form, how languages come into existence from other parent languages as well. And we would also investigate language related disorders. आपने स्पीच थेरेपी के बारे में सुना होगा। अक्सर बच्चे जो हैं and even adults they struggle with either retaining the sentence structure or maintaining a good vocabulary। इसकी वजूहात क्या होती हैं और इसका जो है इलाज किस तरह किया जाता है, हम उसको भी थोड़ा सा we would touch upon that. But before that, I'm highly interested in your linguistic profiles, and I think every linguist is. So what a linguistic profile is that what languages you know, what your mother tongue is, what languages you have learned as your second languages, and what languages you would perhaps want to learn. So let me start with my own linguistic profile. I am a native Brushski speaker. This language is spoken in Hunza. I originally belong to Hunza. So my mother tongue was Brushski. As a child, I learned Brushski really easily at home. And then I learned English and Urdu at school. And I would say that I'm fairly fluent in both. At least I try. So that's my linguistic profile. And I'd like to know you guys' linguistic profiles as well. So um, if you guys are comfortable, that is. So Miss Lena, could you tell us about yourself?
Sure. My family basically belongs to Banu, so I have learned that language, a bit of it. I live in Peshawar, so Pashto I have learned a bit, and I have learned Pashto from school, and
Right.
the little bit. little bit of it from my that Banu language from my family, but I'm not fluent at it at
Hmm.
all. And Urdu and English, they both I have learned from school. Urdu was my mother tongue because my mother is a Urdu speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So English I have learned from school.
Right. Right. So, how about Dr. Muhammad Kabir? Ji, sir, I think you're inaudible. Can everybody else hear him? All right. How about the next person? Ji.
Okay, this is Bilal, and for me, uh, I can say two languages are, um, my first language. One is Punjabi, and the other one
Mm-hmm.
is Urdu, because my mom, she's from Karachi, Urdu-speaking family, and my father's, and my second language, I can say English.
So you were a bilingual baby, right?
Correct.
That's great. That's great. Ji, the next person.
This is Iswamin. My first language was my mother language was Urdu, and I
Mhm.
learned English in school, and I also know a little bit of Punjabi.
Right. That's great. How about others? Is there anyone left?
Yes, ma'am. I think I was not audible.
Ji, sir.
Am I audible?
Ji, now you are. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I am Dr. Mohammad Kabir and basically belong to the district Chakwal division, Rawalpindi. I belongs to the
Mhm.
Punjabi family, and my mother and father tongue is the Punjabi. And I learned the English and Urdu during my school college level, and focused to the English language at the university level. I try my best to learn the Pashto and Chinese, but I couldn't do so because I think other languages are very tough. And I tried my best to learn these two languages, but can't do so. And I think that this workshop or conference will be very informative for me in this regard.
Ji, perhaps it will help you improve, improve your proficiency in these two languages, or you will at least get your answer as to why you're not learning these languages. Really depends on your situation.
Actually,
Ji, somebody raised their hand. I think it was Uswa.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
I'm Dua Salman.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Karachi, so Urdu is my first language, but both my
Mhm.
parents are Punjabi. So I know I can speak Punjabi very fluently. And I've learned English in school and college, so that's about it.
Right. So everybody has a very diverse linguistic profile over here. And I think in Pakistan, it is very common for people to be bilingual and even bilingual babies, especially in Punjab, because you're taught Punjabi and Urdu at once, right? Because of the kind of a society that we live in. So it's very common. Multilingualism is very common in Pakistan. And I think that's something that we should um, at least, celebrate. So that's great. Lena has raised her hand. Yes, please.
Sorry, ma'am, I forgot to tell you that I have completed my master's in English literature. I have just taken the exam and I'll get the result soon.
That's
And I
that's
have
really great.
and I have completed my bachelor's as well in English language. I
English
have been,
language.
yes, ma'am.
So you must be familiar with a lot of things that we would learn here today. But earlier today, I was going through the list of you guys, जिसमें आपने अपनी मुझे details थोड़ी सी बताई हुई थी कि what's your motivation behind this, and most of the people that we have in this group might not be familiar with a lot of concepts that we're going to be discussing, but that's just how you learn, so that's good. Let's start the session officially. So yes, linguistics या लिसानियात इसको उर्दू में कहते हैं. लिसान का लफ्ज आपने सुना होगा. It has Arabic origin and it means tongue. All right, so linguistics is the scientific investigation of language. और जब हम linguistics का लफ्ज सुनते हैं तो हमारे जहन में particularly science नहीं आती, because our brains normally associate linguistics with learning of a language, especially English language, because that's the most common thing. Right? Ji, somebody has raised their hand. Ji, Mohammed Kabir. All right. So scientific investigation हमारे जहन में नहीं आती जब भी हम लिसानियात या linguistics का लफ्ज सुनते हैं, लेकिन it is scientific by nature. Now, some aspects of it might be a little more scientific than others. कभी कभी वो लाइफ साइंसेस प्योर साइंसेस में चला जाता है, कभी कभी वो ह्यूमैनिटीज आपको लगने लग जाता है. दैट्स द ब्यूटी ऑफ लिंग्विस्टिक्स. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ वी स्टडी द सोशल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ लिंग्विस्टिक्स, एक लैंग्वेज की सोशल वैल्यू, फॉर एग्जांपल हमारी सोसाइटी के अंदर जो इंग्लिश की सोशल वैल्यू है, इट इज एसोसिएटेड विद हायर क्लास, एजुकेटेड बीइंग्स एक्सेट्रा. सो अगर आप इस तरह देखते हो लैंग्वेज को तो वो आपको थोड़ा सा ऐसे लगेगा जैसे आप ह्यूमैनिटीज के स्टूडेंट हो, राइट? लेकिन अगर आप लैंग्वेज को फॉर एग्जांपल इस लेवल पे देखते हो कि आवाज कैसे निकल रही है, मेरे वोकल कॉर्ड से आवाज कैसे निकल रही है, राइट? पिच क्या है, the things that you can measure, if you look at it that way, it becomes very purely scientific, very empirical. So it's a very beautiful field of study, and it really depends on how you look at it. But by nature, it is scientific, because language, it's a human characteristic, and it's a very interesting human characteristic. And again, it's not so prevalent in Pakistan. It's something new for a lot of us, but we're here to, remove that confusion. So it has lots and lots of subfields. I've enlisted a few of them. Phonetics and phonology. Phonetics and phonology, both of these fields have to do with how sounds are produced, या फिर speech sounds को कैसे produce किया जाता है. It includes our anatomy. Anatomy से मुराद हमारा physical structure, the structure of our body. अब उसके अंदर क्या होगा कि हमारे lungs से जो है वो हवा कहाँ से गुजर के हमारे मुंह से बाहर निकलती है. In the meantime, हम जो है वो language produce करते हैं. हमारा tongue किस तरह move करता है, stuff like that. जो basic sounds जो है वो हम create करते हैं, that has to do with phonetics and phonology. Morphology is how words are created. ये morph के लफ्ज से निकला है. Morph means creation, right? So how words are created. Syntax has to do a lot with sentence structure and grammar. तो जब हम language को grammar level पे study करते हैं तो उसको syntax भी कहा जाता है और grammar studies भी कहा जाता है. उसके अलावा there is another aspect of linguistics called discourse analysis, and of course guys, don't be scared of these terms. I know they must be new for a lot of you. We will elaborate on each and every one of them in the next sessions. So discourse analysis जो होता है, that has to do with language and study of language above the sentence level. So let's say that you're analyzing Imran Khan ki koi speech, that would be discourse analysis. Let's say if that you're analyzing an essay or a book, right? Anything that is above sentence level, that would be called discourse analysis. Uske alawa sociolinguistics, a very interesting subfield of linguistics, because languages have social value, right? पंजाबी की अपनी सोशल वैल्यू है, उर्दू की अपनी सोशल वैल्यू है, अंग्रेजी की अपनी सोशल वैल्यू है। हर लैंग्वेज की अपनी सोशल, कल्चरल, इंटेलेक्चुअल वैल्यू होती है। तो जो इस जो जो लैंग्वेजेस का सोशल एस्पेक्ट है उसको स्टडी करने को कहते हैं सोशियो लिंग्विस्टिक्स, जिसमें आप लोगों के एटीट्यूड्स, लैंग्वेज चेंज, लैंग्वेज बिहेवियर, इन चीजों को स्टडी करते हो। उसके अलावा लैंग्वेज एक्विजिशन इज अनदर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फील्ड और सब फील्ड इन द फील्ड ऑफ लिंग्विस्टिक्स, जिसमें आप ये स्टडी करते हो कि एक ह्यूमन ब्रेन एक नई लैंग्वेज को एक्वायर कैसे करता है, सीखता कैसे है, और वो कौन कौन से तरीके हैं जिससे हम एक लैंग्वेज को बेहतर तरीके से सीख सकते हैं, राइट। और ये इस तरह के सवालों के भी जवाब देता है जो अभी आई जस्ट डिस्कस्ड विद मिस्टर डॉक्टर मोहम्मद कबीर, कि अगर वो नई लैंग्वेज सीखना चाहते हैं तो वो क्या कर सकते हैं अपनी प्रोफिशिएंसी को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए, या फिर ऐसा हो भी सकता है या नहीं कि वो नई लैंग्वेज सीखें, because sometimes languages do get fossilized. So answering such questions has to do with the language acquisition part of the field. There is psycholinguistics, in which we study our psychological reactions to different forms of language. और हमारे attitudes, individual attitudes as language groups, all of that comes under psycholinguistics. And a very interesting subfield is philosophical linguistics. Philosophical linguistics is not by face value scientific, but it is equally interesting. It has a lot to do with these deeper and bigger questions like, why does language exist in the first place? सिर्फ इंसानों के पास लैंग्वेज क्यों है? Why are we pushed to think about certain things and then communicate our thoughts in form of language? Does our language represent us? Are we our language? क्योंकि हम सोचते अपनी लैंग्वेज में हैं, हम किसी और तरीके से तो नहीं सोचते. Language is the only way we communicate, right? So all of these deeper questions, they have to do with philosophical linguistics, but of course we won't cover that. But that's something very interesting that you can sit and think about in your free time. If you Google what a language is, you would get a bunch of answers. These are some textbook definitions of what a language is. A method of human communication, or the primary method of human communication, that has to do with gestures, writing, speech. It includes vocabulary, it includes formation of sentences, conveyance of sentences, which again जो आपके receptors होंगे वो उनको receive करेंगे और उनको process करेंगे. Or a system of communication used by a particular country or a particular community. Why are we talking about a particular country or a community? Because different linguistic communities होती हैं और एक लैंग्वेज जो है वो उनके आपस में इंटेलिजिबल होती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, उर्दू स्पीकिंग पीपल वुड अंडरस्टैंड उर्दू, बट दे वुड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड सम अफ्रीकन लैंग्वेज, right? But then of course there are certain languages which are more prevalent in this world and in certain regions. For example, I think everybody in India and Pakistan would understand Urdu or Hindi to some extent, or most people, other than native English speaking countries, there are other countries in which people understand English because it is sort of a global language. Hello Adil. So you can define language that way as well. Some people call languages just a collection of dialects. Dialects kya hote hain? Let me explain to you in terms of Punjabi, because that's I think the most familiar example here. पंजाबी के डिफरेंट टाइप्स होते हैं. आपने नोटिस किया होगा कि फैसलाबाद के लोग डिफरेंट तरीके से पंजाबी बोलते हैं, स्लाइटली डिफरेंट. एंड देन देयर आर पीपल इन अदर रीजन. सियालकोट के लोग स्लाइटली डिफरेंट तरीके से पंजाबी बोलते होंगे, लाहौर के लोग डिफरेंट तरीके से पंजाबी बोलते होंगे. So all of these different ways of speaking one language it's called dialects. ठीक है, हर लैंग्वेज के डिफरेंट डायलेक्ट्स होते हैं. तो कुछ लोग लैंग्वेज को डिफाइन इस तरह करते हैं कि इट्स अ कलेक्शन ऑफ डायलेक्ट्स. एक शर्त ये है कि डायलेक्ट्स जो हैं वो म्यूचुअली इंटेलिजिबल हो. So a Punjabi person would of course understand someone coming from Faisalabad. वो dialect different होगी, right? And it's just not the case with Punjabi. There are different languages जिसके बहुत सारे dialects हैं. Like Pashto has dialects. My own mother tongue, it has dialects. But what I'm more interested in is how you guys would define a language in your own terms. And I would really appreciate you raising hands first so that I can call people out. G. And of course, there are no wrong answers here. This is just a discussion-based session. It's an introductory one, so there is no wrong answer. वो आपका अपना definition होगी. जी दुआ.
For me, it's the most effective way of understanding people and communicating.
The most effective way of communicating. Yes,
Yeah.
but are there other like ineffective ways or less effective ways of communication?
Yeah, there are
Like-
gestures that we can use to communicate, but
Hmm.
then there can be of double meanings also. Even language can have double meanings, but it's most effective way of communicating, I think, because
As we're talking about gestures, sign language is a language, so it does
Yes,
qualify
it is
as a
also.
language.
Hmm,
But if
it
you
does.
talk about some particular gestures या फिर body language की आप बात करते हो, तो yes, of course, that is another form of communication. Gee, somebody else raised their hand.
Yes, ma'am. I think language is the collection of the words which we observe in our surrounding. And by these words, we can
It's a collection of
communicate with
words.
other peoples. Yeah.
Yes, you're very much right. It's a collection of words and it's a collection of terms using which we communicate with other people. Does anybody else want to answer my question before we move on? Yes, Uswa.
Language is a set of rules, words, grammar, and sentences that is used to convey.
Gee, Uswa, you weren't audible. Could you please repeat?
Language is a set of rules and words that we use to convey our message to others. It could also
Yes.
have gestures and
Yes, that is true. So whichever way you define language, basically, the crux of the whole argument is that language is a means of communicating our thoughts to other human beings and other beings, right? अब चलते हैं towards a general discussion on the animal world and how communication exists over there. आपने देखा होगा bioluminescent animals को. Some animals glow at night, जुगनू वगैरह, right? That is a form of communication. उसके अलावा डीप सी के अंदर भी बहुत सारे ऐसे जानवर हैं जो ग्लो करते हैं. इवन मशरूम्स ग्लो एट नाइट. बायोल्यूमिनेसेंस जो है वो सर्टेन माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स के अंदर भी एग्जिस्ट करती है. बट वुड यू कॉल दैट लैंग्वेज? It is very subjective, but since language has a specific structure and it follows a specific set of rules, we wouldn't really call it language or comparable to human language, but communication is very common in the animal world. Another example is when you talk to a dog or a cat. Now, this is particularly interesting because जब आप अपने dog को कहते हो, अपने pet को कहते हो, sit, it sits, right? So that makes you think, does my dog understand human language? So what do you think would be going on here in this particular scenario? When you tell your dog to sit, it sits.
He's
Yes,
maybe
Usma?
probably, hello?
Yes.
He's probably reading the body language.
Yes, I think when it comes to animals like cats and dogs, it has more to do with the tone and the body language that you use with them. But that doesn't mean that they cannot perceive our sounds. They can, but of course, they cannot understand fully what we're saying to them. They're more focused on the tone, more focused on our expressions, और वो उस चीज को perceive करके they act on it. Similarly, you must have heard about songbirds, right? Songbirds or singing birds उनको कहते हैं जो एक certain pattern sounds produce करते हैं. For example, let me play it for you. अब हमने कहा है कि ह्यूमन लैंग्वेज जो है या लैंग्वेज इन जनरल it follows certain patterns, it follows certain rules. ठीक है? So would you hear this again? Would you call this language? Because it when you listen to it very carefully, it does seem to follow a certain pattern. So what do you guys have to say about this?
Ma'am, every living being has a certain way to explain with a certain language. Animals and birds have their own language in which they want to, maybe they try to communicate with us, but in their own language. And we try to communicate with them with the language we are using.
So do you think they're trying to communicate with each other or us? Yes. जी Uswa.
I think they're trying to communicate with each other in this scenario. They don't really have a reason to communicate with us.
Yeah, there are certain times when certain animals do communicate with other species. जैसे कभी threatened feel करते हैं तो वो अपने पर फैला देते हैं, आपने देखा होगा. So the animals do communicate with other species, but when it comes to birds, even singing birds, ये जो आवाज प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, it does follow a certain pattern, but it's not patterned enough to be called language. और उसके अलावा ये है कि the patterns are not even aligned enough to be called songs, which is very interesting. But the case of parrots is extremely intriguing for linguists, because when you look at parrots and you see them, utter human sentences, right? So that becomes very interesting, and you're like, oh, isne to hamari language hi seekh liya. But that's not the case. Parrots have mastered the art of imitation. They also have a differently developed vocal tract जिससे वो हमारी speech sounds को जो है वो mimic कर सकते हैं. They have just mastered this art of imitation, and human language is unintelligible to them. उनको समझ नहीं आती कि हम उनको क्या कह रहे हैं, but they are very good at repeating the sounds. But in certain cases, some parrots have been successfully trained to understand human language, but again, not to an extent कि आप पूरी language उनको आपने सिखा दी है, to some extent, to a very little extent. So yeah, languages do not really exist in case of microorganisms, simpler animals, even birds. Whales are very sophisticated when it comes to sounds and patterns and sounds. आपने whale songs का सुना होगा. People listen to these sounds when they're trying to go to sleep as well. Let me show you an example. So whales जो sounds produce करते हैं वो mostly एक दूसरे के साथ communicate करने के लिए करते हैं, mating calls या फिर echolocate करने के लिए. Whales, it's an interesting fact that whales are the only animals that produce songs or things or sounds that qualify as songs, क्योंकि वो एक certain pattern को follow करते हैं, वो tone की ऊंच नीच and everything that exists in case of whales. But sadly, no other organism or no other animal produces language like we do. But that doesn't mean कि intelligent life forms दूसरी exist नहीं करती. Of course, octopuses are very intelligent, insects are very intelligent in their own way. They're very evolved. But language does not really, or language as we understand it, does not really exist in the animal world out there, and it is a purely human characteristic. Ji, Mr. Kabir, you want to say something?
Ji, ma'am, I am audible.
Ji, you are.
Ma'am, I have listened a lot of people that bad produce a voice, and after producing the voice, when some substance or things comes in front of it, then it turns its way. How much reality can exist in this investigation?
I did not get your question. Could you repeat it, please?
Ma'am, I have listened from a lot of the people that bat produces a voice while it's flying. And when any substance or things comes in front of it, then bat can turns its way. So I want to know
Yes.
that how much reality exists in this statement.
Hmm.
It is
इस
also
चीज को
due to the
कहते
language
हैं,
or voice.
it has to do with sounds. It doesn't have anything to do with language. इस चीज को echolocation कहते हैं. Echolocation जो है वो dolphins के अंदर भी exist करती है, जिसमें they produce sound या sound waves. ठीक है, अब वो डॉल्फिन के केस में साउंड वेव्स जो है वो पानी में क्रिएट होती हैं, और बैट के केस में वो हवा में क्रिएट होती हैं. ठीक है, और वो जो साउंड वेव्स जो है वो जाके किसी चीज से टकराएंगी और कुछ वापस आएंगी. These animals, they have this ability to understand कि distance कितनी है और object कहाँ पर है. So if it's food, they can go to it, and if it's another kind of an obstacle, they can go away from it. So mostly food को जो है वो spot करने के लिए dolphins and all these other animals जो echolocation use करते हैं, उनका यही मकसद होता है कि वो sound waves produce करें, और वो जो कुछ waves किसी चीज से टकरा के वापस आती हैं वो उनको receive करें और determine करें कि सामने कौन सा object है. इसी चीज को mimic करके I think what is it called, sonar. Yes, sonar was developed, sonar technology, जिसमें ये होता है कि सैटेलाइट से या किसी भी बॉडी से जो आप वेव्स प्रोड्यूस करते हो, एंड द वेव्स कम बैक, दे आर रिसीव्ड, एंड देन यू डिटरमिन व्हाट द डिस्टेंस इज, कि हवाई जहाज कितने डिस्टेंस पे है या फिर समुद्री जहाज कितने डिस्टेंस पे है. So this of course is mimicked from nature, and it is very much true. Bats do that. Now coming back to language, language is a distinct human characteristic, and कोई भी ऐसी चीज which has to do with humans is very, of course, very subjective and very complicated. So it's not going to be or studying a language is not going to be as simple as let's say math of course is not simple, but at least उसमें चीजें determined होती हैं, आपको चीजें पता होती हैं, A is A, B is B, there is a lot of black and white. But when it comes to linguistics, sometimes things go in gray area, because we're dealing with human mind, because language is primarily produced by human mind. So whenever you feel like in studying linguistics, whenever you feel like you're not getting definite answers, that is supposed to happen, and that's what science is about. It makes you realize what you don't know as well. Human language is distinct, of course, but it is compositional. Compositional से मुराद ये है कि human language का एक major characteristic ये है कि हमारे जो दिमाग हैं वो thoughts को sentences में बदल के उनको utter करता है, right? So our brain creates a thought. It is then translated into a sentence. The sentence comes out of, for example, my mouth, right? You guys' ears receive it, and then आप उसको process करते हो. ये ability किसी और जानवर के पास नहीं है. They may make certain sounds जो कि certain चीजों को जो है वो communicate करें, लेकिन अपने thoughts को, अपने deeper thoughts को communicate करने की ability only lies with human beings. And how have we developed this? It is through two things. पहली चीज तो it's human brain. Right, we have an evolved brain, more evolved than other animals, and our brains have this capability of creating language, which is excellent, because if you really think about it, it doesn't exist in any other case. We are the only species जिसने ये चीज develop की है, not even our close cousins like monkeys and other primates. So that is amazing, but as amazing as it is also very complicated, because human brain is complicated and it's not fully understood. प्रीवियसली साइंटिस्ट ने जो लिंग्विस्ट हैं उन्होंने ह्यूमन ब्रेन को स्टडी किया कि लैंग्वेज कहाँ पे प्रोड्यूस हो रही है, तो पहले उनको ये लगा कि दिमाग का सिर्फ एक हिस्सा, द फ्रंटल लोब, वहां से लैंग्वेज हम प्रोड्यूस करते हैं। बट जैसे ही रिसर्च आगे बढ़ती गई, दे रियलाइज कि नो, इट्स नॉट जस्ट वन पार्ट ऑफ द ब्रेन। हर चीज जो है वो साइमल्टेनियसली हर तरफ से जो है वो सिग्नल्स आए जा रहे हैं, यू नो, इट्स वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. So linguistics as a field is also very complicated because it has to do with human brain. Other than human brain, it has to do a lot with our anatomy. Anatomy का मतलब हमारा physical structure, the structure of our body. If some of you have, I think 2 or 3 people over here have some background in zoology, so they might be able to understand this better. But before diving into anatomy, I want you guys to think about this question. You must have noticed that children, for example, have different levels of intelligence, right? कुछ बच्चे जो है वो चीजें जल्दी सीख लेते हैं, कुछ बच्चे जो है चीजों को लेट सीख लेते हैं, कुछ बच्चों को आप कन्वेंशनली ज़हीन कहते हो, कुछ बच्चों को जो है कन्वेंशनली ज़हीन नहीं समझा जाता. लेकिन all children by average by the time of age 4 and some even before learn their first language. तो IQ जितना भी हो, हर बच्चा लैंग्वेज सीख लेता है, उसके बाद कुछ सीखे ना सीखे. So isn't that something very interesting? जब साइंटिस्ट को, जब लिंग्विस्ट को ये चीज समझ आई और ये चीज, इस चीज के बारे में उन्होंने सोचना शुरू किया कि हाउ कम डिफरेंट लेवल्स ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस एग्जिस्ट करते हैं, लेकिन हर बच्चा अपनी फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज सीख रहा है और सही सीख रहा है. ऐसा नहीं है कि जो है बच्चा थोड़ा कन्वेंशनली स्मार्ट नहीं है तो उसका जो है सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर खराब है. नहीं, सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर इज परफेक्ट. सो दैट्स व्हेन दे रियलाइज्ड कि ह्यूमन ब्रेन की जो कैपेसिटी है ऑफ लर्निंग अ लैंग्वेज, इट हैज नथिंग टू डू विद अ ह्यूमंस इंटेलिजेंस, which was a great breakthrough. And of course ये हम आगे पढ़ेंगे यूनिवर्सल ग्रामर थ्योरी के अंदर, which is very very interesting and one of my favorite things about linguistics. But this is something that I want you guys to you know, this message, take this with you after this session today, and I want you guys to think about it. हम अगले सेशन में इस पे थोड़ी सी डिस्कशन भी कर सकते हैं. Just think about how every person except for 1 or 2 people जो by birth कुछ defects आ जाते हैं, speech defects आ जाते हैं, every person regardless of how intelligent or less intelligent they are able to acquire their first language. That is a very wonderful human trait. I want you guys to think about it. Now let's move on to our anatomy. Anatomy जो है हमारी है unique. Of course, it is similar to all our relatives like monkeys and other primates, but it is unique because it enables us to produce sounds, and of course other animals produce sounds as well. लेकिन जितने ज़्यादा sounds हम produce करते हैं, उतने ज़्यादा sounds जो है वो दूसरे जानवर produce नहीं कर सकते. No other animal is comparable when it comes to production of different kinds, different pitches and different tones of sounds. There are 2 basic kinds of speech sounds. अगला जो हमारा सेशन होगा उसके अंदर हम इस चीज को डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे, but I think everybody is familiar with the idea of consonants and vowels. Yes. So we would focus on how consonant sounds are produced and how vowel sounds are produced. थोड़ा सा हम अभी भी आज के सेशन में भी डिस्कस करेंगे. The reason behind doing that is to familiarize you a little with the idea of you know, practicing producing certain sounds, जिससे आपको थोड़ा समझ आ जाएगी कि हमें ह्यूमन साउंड को समझने के लिए खुद प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ती है और हमारे वोकल ट्रैक्ट के क्या क्या हिस्से हैं जिनको यूज किया जाता है. एंड ऑफ कोर्स you are your own, you know, lab hamster. साउंड की प्रोडक्शन में you can just produce sounds खुद से ही और आपको खुद ही समझ आ जाती है कि कहाँ से साउंड प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, किस तरह प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है. So that's very good. And all sounds that we create, they are produced by obstruction of air passing through our vocal tract. हमारा vocal tract शुरू होता है हमारे lungs से. हमारे lungs से जो हवा बाहर निकलती है through our mouths and through our noses, उसकी जो obstruction होती है या फिर किसी पॉइंट पे उसको रोका जाता है तो एक सर्टेन साउंड प्रोड्यूस होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई से म, व्हेन आई एम सेइंग म, हवा जो है वो मेरे लंग्स से आ रही है ऊपर तक और बिल्कुल मेरे लिप्स पे आके मैंने उसको ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट किया है, म, right? So that's how we produce sound. Sometimes the air is obstructed in this region. Sometimes our air is obstructed in inside our mouth. Sometimes it's obstructed right on the lips, so on and so forth. We'd go deeper into this. So this is our vocal tract. Lungs से जो है the air moves on to trachea. इसको I believe windpipe भी कहा जाता है. Right? So trachea के ऊपर जो है a very important thing exists, that is the voice box, और उसके ऊपर दो folds होते हैं जिनको vocal cords या vocal folds कहा जाता है. You must be familiar with this term. And the muscles in this region, जो हमारा air tract होता है, इसके जो muscles होते हैं, they make these flaps move, these vocal cords move. इनकी movement से जो है sound produce होती है, इनके vibration से sound produce होती है, उसको क्या कहा जाता है? Phonation. Phonation means production of a sound, right? So the tension can be changed. The tension between these two flaps, inki vibration can be changed voluntarily by your own self to create different pitch, different volumes, and different tones of sounds. But of course, we don't have to go into the detail of it as yet. But I just wanted you to be familiar a little bit with what vocal tract looks like. Uske baad, another important organ is the tongue, which exists in our mouths, right? So tongue ki movement. Tongue is a great organ to obstruct air, and of course obstruction से जो है ही आवाज निकलती है, right? So our tongue is a very important muscle when it comes to our ability of speech. उसके अलावा हमारी जो oral cavity के अंदर और बहुत सारे organs exist करते हैं. They also come in handy, like our teeth, our lips, and even our nose. This is a diagram of the inside of your mouth. Now I want you guys to touch the roof of your mouth with your tongue, and I want you to touch this part, जिसको यहाँ पे soft palate कहा गया है. And then I want you guys to touch the hard palate. When you do, you would realize that soft palate असल में is a little softer than the hard palate. In parts की division इसलिए की गई है ताकि हम जो production of sounds हैं उनको जो sounds हैं, different kinds of sounds, the consonants and the vowels, उनको हम classify कर सकें based on how they are produced. और फिर हम उनको नेम कर सके, जो कि हम आज थोड़ा सा करेंगे. एंड ऑफ कोर्स इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन वी वुड डाइव डीपर इनटू इट. एंड आई एम एमिंग कि जो अगला हमारा सेशन होगा जिसमें हम लोग फोनेटिक्स एंड फोनोलॉजी को डिस्कस कर रहे होंगे, उसमें आई वुड फोकस ऑफ कोर्स ऑन इंग्लिश बट अ लिटिल बिट ऑन उर्दू एज वेल, बिकॉज जो उर्दू लैंग्वेज है इसकी फोनोलॉजी पे इतना कभी फोकस नहीं किया जाता. देयर आर अ फ्यू उर्दू लिंग्विस्ट्स, तो हम खुद ही कोशिश करेंगे कि हम वो साउंड्स प्रोड्यूस करें और हम देखें कि हमारे माउथ में कहाँ-कहाँ कौन से प्रोसेसेस होते हैं उन साउंड्स को प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए, एंड हाउ उर्दू साउंड्स डिफर फ्रॉम द साउंड्स दैट वी मेक व्हेन वी स्पीक इंग्लिश, राइट? सो एवरीबडी determined the softness of the soft palate, right? This is called uvula. This is the hard palate. Uske alawa, this is called the alveolar ridge. I want you guys to memorize these 2 or 3 terms because they will come in handy later जब हम sounds की production देखेंगे. अच्छा, let me also introduce you to some other terminologies, and of course I don't expect you to memorize them right away. We would go through them in detail in the next session as well, so don't be scared of anything. This is just an introductory session. Lips के लिए Greek term है labia. So whenever our lips are involved in creating a sound like m, we call it a labial sound, like m, p. These are labial sounds. ठीक है? Teeth के लिए दूसरा लफ्ज है dental, so we use the word dental. So let's say we say d, या फिर नहीं th. Okay, th जैसे theta है, th का जो sound है उसमें our tongue comes in between both sets of our teeth, right? So it would be a dental sound. I'm just giving you examples. Alveolar वो sound होगा जिसमें alveolar ridge के साथ आपकी जो है वो tongue touch करेगी. यहाँ पे, ठीक है जी। उसके अलावा पैलेटल साउंड्स वो होंगे जिसमें हार्ड और सॉफ्ट पैलेट को आपका टंग जो है वो टच करे। नेजल साउंड्स वो होंगे जिसमें यू वुड यूज योर नोज टू लेट द एयर आउट, लाइक न और म, जिसमें आपके नाक से ज्यादा एयर निकल रही है, मुंह से कम निकल रही है। दीज आर कॉल्ड नेजल साउंड्स। यूविलर साउंड्स ऑफ कोर्स वुड बी दोज जहां पे यूविला के ऊपर जो है वो एयर ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट हो रही होगी, लाइक ख और ग, ख ग। जो अरबिक में क का लफ्ज है या ग का लफ्ज है, ये वाले जो ये सॉरी का जो साउंड है, ये वाले जो साउंड्स है ये यूविलर साउंड्स है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे यूविला के ऊपर एयर जो है वो ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट हो रही है। एंड ग्लॉटल साउंड जो है वो ग्लॉटिस से प्रोड्यूस होते हैं। ग्लॉटिस इज डीपर डाउन, सो फॉर एग्जांपल हा इज अ ग्लॉटल साउंड, बिकॉज एयर यहाँ पे ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट हो रही है और फिर बाहर निकल रही है, और कहीं पे ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट नहीं हो रही, ग्लॉटिस के अंदर जो है वो आपकी एयर ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट हो रही है, राइट। सो व्हाट डिड वी गो थ्रू? एनी साउंड जिसमें आपके लिप्स इन्वॉल्व होंगे या एयर जो है आपके लिप्स पे ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट हो रही होगी, दे बी कॉल्ड लेबियल साउंड्स, लाइक म, राइट। Anything in which your teeth are involved would be called dental sounds, like th. एल्वियोलर साउंड्स वो होंगे जिनमें एल्वियोलर रिज के ऊपर आपकी टंग टच हो, फॉर एग्जांपल ड, इंग्लिश वाला ड, डी फॉर डॉग, ड। इसमें एल्वियोलर रिज जो है आपकी दिस रीजन, वहां पे जाके टंग हो रहा है टच। उसके अलावा है पैलेटल साउंड जिसमें हार्ड पैलेट और सॉफ्ट पैलेट के ऊपर आपकी टंग टच होती है, फॉर एग्जांपल ल, ल, right? There are nasal sounds जिसमें air is thrown out through your nose, for example m and n, जिसके अंदर आपकी जो nasal cavity है उसकी भी involvement आ जाती है, other than your oral cavity. And uvular sounds are those in which air is obstructed in uvular region, this region. If you can see the cursor, uvula के पास आसपास जो है air obstruct हो रही है, for example g. एंड ग्लॉटल आर द साउंड जो डीपर डाउन हमारे ग्लॉटिस में एयर ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट हो रही होती है, फॉर एग्जांपल हा, ठीक है जी। अच्छा, लेट्स गो बैक टू द प्रीवियस स्लाइड। यस, सो दिस इज हाउ यू एक्सप्रेस अ साउंड इन लिंग्विस्टिक्स। एक साउंड के यूनिट को फोनीम भी कहा जाता है, फोनीम, but of course you don't need to worry so much about the terminology. We would dig deeper into this in the next session, but let's look at the first sound t. This is English wala t. ये उर्दू वाला टे नहीं है. There is a slight difference between the two, but if you're confused between them, it's fine. So the first sound that we have to analyze today, and I want you guys to analyze it with me. It's t. ठीक है जी, t. Now tell me what kind of a sound this is. Is it palatal? Is it alveolar? Is it uvular? With a raise of hands, please. Yes, Usma?
Alveolar.
Alveolar, because when we say t, and I want you guys to also produce the sound, practice करें. When you say t, आप notice करोगे कि आपका जो tongue है, it is touching this part, the alveolar ridge, which is right beside your upper teeth. T, ठीक है? Similarly, what about g? Make the sound g, and let me know what you where you think this is produced. Is it a palatal sound? Is it a uvular sound? What is it? G. Ji Leena.
Ma'am, soft palate sound.
G. G. Yes, it is produced somewhere around that. You are right. Who else? Ji Dua.
Uvular है.
अच्छा, g uvular है. G.
G.
G as in g as in go.
I
Go.
think it's palatal sound क्योंकि वो palate पे force jerk पड़ रहा है. It's I think it's palatal.
Yes, and sometimes two or more regions can be useful in producing a sound. For example, some sounds can be labiodental, जैसे त या फिर नहीं, हाँ थ या फ का जो लफ्ज है फ एज इन फन, तो उसमें जब हम फ का साउंड निकालते हैं उसमें हमारे दांत भी यूज हो रहे होते हैं, हमारे लिप्स भी यूज हो रहे होते हैं, तो उसको कहते हैं लेबियोडेंटल. सो यू कैन ऑलवेज मिक्स टू थिंग्स अप एज वेल. जरूरी नहीं है कि सिर्फ एक ही पार्ट यूज हो रहा हो, बट टू ऑफ यू गाइज आर राइट. व्हेन वी प्रोड्यूस द साउंड ग, इट इज द सॉफ्ट पैलेट is used. Acha, what about the sound h? Okay, let me see. Lena.
Glottal sound.
Glottal sound h. Okay, what about dua? और uswa?
Uvular.
Uvular. Ha.
Huh. I think it's glottal.
Could be glottal h. अब देखें कि आप महसूस करें कि एयर कहाँ पे ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट हो रही है. हा. Who else? Atik, yes.
I think it's from the epiglottis. It's more like from epiglottis.
Yes, it's more of a glottal sound. What about this is an easy one. What about p? I want to choose the person myself this time because this is an easy question. How about either Mr. Kabir or Mr. Munawar?
Yes, ma'am. Lips.
Lips. So we would call this a labial sound. Acha ji, what about f? F. We're using our teeth and we're also using our lips. F. So it would be labiodental sound. Or uske alawa, what about n? N. N. Yes, uswa?
Nasal.
Nasal. What else is involved? Yes, Atik, what else is involved other than our nose? N ki production mein, what else is involved?
Hard palate, I think. The tongue is touching the hard palate. Not no, the tongue is touching the hard palate.
Is it touching the hard palate or is it touching the alveolar ridge? No. Produce the sound yourself. No. It is an interesting fact कि since हम अंग्रेज नहीं हैं तो हम अंग्रेजों की तरह consonants pronounce नहीं करते. ठीक है. So जो अंग्रेजों का ट होता है ट वो प्रोड्यूस होता है इट्स alveolar, क्योंकि वहां पे alveolar ridge जो है आपकी वहां पे जाके आपकी टंग टच होती है. लेकिन जब हम उर्दू वाला टे प्रोनाउंस करते हैं तो वो हार्ड पैलेट को टच कर रहा होता है. तो जब भी हम इंग्लिश वाला टी वो प्रोनाउंस करने की कोशिश करते हैं तो इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग कि ऑफ कोर्स वी आवर ब्रेन्स आर अलाइन्ड टू आवर ओरिजिनल प्रोनाउंसिएशन, सो वी मेक इट पैलेटल ऑल्दो इट इज एल्वियोलर. सो दीज थिंग्स डू हैपन एज वेल. इसलिए मैं आप लोगों को इंडिविजुअली एक्सपीरियंस करा रही हूँ कि आप कैसे प्रोड्यूस करते हो. मे बी द पर्सन हु सेड ह इज यूविलर, मे बी शी डज प्रोड्यूस इट फ्रॉम हर यूविला, हु नोज. अच्छा जी, द नेक्स्ट साउंड वाज द नेक्स्ट साउंड इज अ वावल ऊ. Ooh. Now this is a hard one because vowels हमने अभी discuss नहीं किए, but please do share your insights. Ooh. Yes, Dua. Ji Dua.
I think it's difficult.
It is difficult,
Because-
but you know, like I said, there are no wrong answers. It's not like you're being tested. Try and produce the sound oo.
Because lips भी इसमें use हो रहे हैं.
हो रहे हैं बिल्कुल.
तो ये labial होगा.
Tell me about the origin of the sound या फिर mouth के किस हिस्से, because it's a vowel, so we don't really we don't have to worry about any of that. Just try and see where the sound is originating from. Air कहाँ पे obstruct हो रही है? Ooh.
I think it's uvular.
Yes,
and
it's very it's
labial.
it's near the uvular region. So when we study
Yeah.
vowels, we don't really specifically name the region. हम general area बताते हैं कि mouth के इस area के अंदर जो है वो sound produce हुई है. And there is a reason behind that. जब हम vowels को study करेंगे in depth in the next session, तो you would understand it better. अच्छा, how about E? Anybody? Dua? E.
E. I think, ma'am, it is from glottis.
E. Okay. Who else? Yes, Uswa?
It would be the same as who, from the uvular or the epiglottis, somewhere around there.
E. E. So when I produce the sound E, it's somewhere between my soft and hard palate. Well, at least that's what I feel. So the reason behind making you guys pronounce U and E is because जो पहले वाले sounds थे, they were consonants. The last two are vowels. और जब हम vowel sounds produce करते हैं तो उसमें हम lips की position देखते हैं. ये देखते हैं कि माउथ के किस हिस्से में जो है साउंड प्रोड्यूस हुआ है, ऊपर प्रोड्यूस हुआ है, नीचे प्रोड्यूस हुआ है, मिड में प्रोड्यूस हुआ है. उसके अलावा हम ये देखते हैं कि हमारी टंग की क्या पोजीशन है. बट दिस वी विल स्टडी इन डेप्थ इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन. बट आई वांट यू गाइस टू इन द मीन टाइम प्रैक्टिस मेकिंग सर्टेन साउंड्स, और जो मुश्किल साउंड्स हैं जिनका आपको पता नहीं अक्सर चल रहा होता कि ये प्रोड्यूस कहाँ से हो रही है, आप उन पे पॉन्डर करें, उन पे सोचें, ताकि हम अपने अगले सेशन में इनको डिस्कस कर सकें. And if you find the terminology a little hard, it's okay. You can always revisit this and you can learn what these different parts of the vocal tract are called. So I hope this clarified some things. So based on this, in the next session, we would continue in a little more depth. Now let's come back to the general comparison that we were doing with other animals. So do other animals have vocal tracts? Yes. Most higher animals do. Reptiles, amphibians, mammals, हम भी mammals हैं, दूसरे जो mammals हैं, उनके भी vocal tracts exist करते हैं. There is a reason why a lion can roar, a cat can meow, and a dog can bark, right? Sound ही produce कर रहे होते हैं, तो उनके vocal tracts exist करते हैं. They're very similar to ours as well. Yes, but they're not evolved enough, or they're not developed enough to create sounds like we do. Because sound production जो हमारी होती है, it is also connected with our brains. हमारे brain में message बनता है, तभी तो जाके sound create होता है. So we are slightly more evolved beings than them. But this also brings us to a very important question कि जैसे इंसान evolve होते जाएंगे, what would happen to their language? This is something that you can think about. कि हम भी evolve हो रहे हैं, हमारी language भी evolve हो रही होगी. What would language be like in the future? Maybe our language would become absolutely mathematical, who knows. अच्छा, उसके अलावा आपने notice ये भी किया होगा कि majority of animals have tongues, even the tiny ones, even the little ones, right? Lizards के tongues होते हैं, तकरीबन सारे जानवरों के tongues होते हैं, but not the very simple ones like flatworms. They don't have tongues, of course, but a lot of animals do. But tongue का जो primary function है, वो बोलने के अलावा खाना swallow करना है, taste, all of that. So tongues, they have tongues, but the tongues in them are not as multifunctional as our tongue. Hamara tongue, it helps us perceive the sense of taste. It helps us swallow our food. and उसके अलावा it also helps us in speaking and producing this sound. So हमारे muscles ज़्यादा evolved हैं. We have a more evolved vocal tract. हमारा vocal folds, हमारा larynx, all of that stuff, it is highly evolved as compared to other animals, which is why we can produce this array of sounds, as a result of which we have language. And of course, it's not just our vocal tract, it is our brains as well. Our brains are highly developed. We can produce thoughts, and then we can turn those thoughts into sentences in whichever language we know. And then we utter them, and we also have this amazing ability to hear them, perceive them, and to understand them. So language is a wonderful thing that humans have, and I think we don't pay much heed to it. To revisit different levels of studying a language or producing a language, आप एक language को investigate phonemic level पे भी कर सकते हो, which is a single sound, like E is a single sound, right? इस लेवल पे लैंग्वेज को स्टडी आप कर सकते हो, या लैंग्वेज की प्रोडक्शन का जो लेवल 1 है, दैट इज द फोनेमिक लेवल. द सेकंड लेवल इज मॉर्फीमिक लेवल या मॉर्फीम. मॉर्फीम मींस अ सिंगल यूनिट जिसकी अपनी कोई मीनिंग हो. फॉर एग्जांपल, ई इज अ फोनीम, ing is a morpheme. ing as in verbs के साथ जो ing लगता है, जो ing वाली जो sound है उसको इस तरह represent किया जाता है with this particular symbols we will also go through in the next session. So ing is a morpheme because by itself it has a meaning, right? The meaning over here is that it has something to do with doing something, ing, right? Morphemes जो हैं, they come together to create a word, a fully meaning word. For example, ride or ing का morpheme जो है, they would come together to create the word riding. Now words come together to form sentences. अब ये जो sentences बनते हैं वो certain rules के basis पे होते हैं. English के लिए अलग rules हैं, उर्दू के लिए अलग rules हैं. So an example of a sentence using the word riding would be, I like riding my bike. Right? And anything above the sentence level, let's say a bunch of sentences, a passage, an essay, a book, that would be called discourse. So these are different levels of language: phoneme, morpheme, word, sentence level, and then discourse level. Acha, I would also like you guys to be familiar, with some structural similarities and differences in languages. कुछ चीजें हैं जो ह्यूमन लैंग्वेज में थ्रू आउट, नो मैटर व्हाट लैंग्वेज इट इज, दे आर कॉमन. ठीक है, बेशक आप स्वाहिली बोल रहे हो, बेशक आप उर्दू बोल रहे हो, whether you're speaking English, certain things are common, certain rules are common. For example, हर लैंग्वेज के अंदर जो कंप्लीट सेंटेंस होगा उसमें सब्जेक्ट, वर्ब और ऑब्जेक्ट का कॉन्सेप्ट होगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इंग्लिश को छोड़ दें, लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट एन उर्दू सेंटेंस ओवर हियर. कल मैं यूनिवर्सिटी गया था, राइट? मैं वुड बी द सब्जेक्ट, यूनिवर्सिटी वुड बी द ऑब्जेक्ट, एंड जाना या गया था वुड बी द वर्ब. सो ये SVO ओरिएंटेशन जो है वो हर लैंग्वेज के अंदर एग्जिस्ट करती है. आई वेंट टू द यूनिवर्सिटी यस्टरडे, इसमें सब्जेक्ट, वर्ब और ऑब्जेक्ट है. व्हाट्स डिफरेंट इज द अरेंजमेंट ऑफ दम. ठीक है जी? सो देयर आर सर्टेन रूल्स कि कुछ चीजें are supposed to be there in every language. For example, हर language के अंदर subject, verb and object orientation full sentences के अंदर होता है. But languages differ in the way this arrangement is made. For example, आप English और उर्दू में देखें. I went to the university yesterday. कल मैं यूनिवर्सिटी गया था. तो इसमें जो सब्जेक्ट है इंग्लिश में पहले आया है, उसके बाद वर्ब आया है और उसके बाद ऑब्जेक्ट आया है. सब्जेक्ट बीइंग I, verb being went, and object being university, right? उर्दू में क्या है? कल मैं is subject, university object, and then गया था verb. So ये SVO की जगह SOV हो गया. I've also included an example from my mother tongue. इसके अंदर the way everything is arranged is very similar to Urdu. J means I, Sabur means yesterday, university means to university, and nearby means gaya tha. ठीक है? So the whole thing is very similar to Urdu. What differs is the adverb, the placement of adverb. वहां पे कल पहले लिखा हुआ था, यहाँ पे after me कल का लफ्ज आया है. So these arrangements, on a very basic level, these arrangements differ, but it is a given that it is almost it is a rule that every language, her language के अंदर full sentence के अंदर subject, verb and object होता है. Adil, this is Brushski, that's my mother tongue. I think you weren't there when I introduced myself. But this is my first language, Brushski. It's spoken in Hunza. So yes, so you see how languages are very similar yet very different. So that's what's wonderful about them. आप उन similarities को देखते हो तो आप हैरान हो जाते हो ये सोच के कि a person who's born in Pakistan, his or her brain is working very similarly to a person who was born in Africa, because लैंग्वेज के अंदर सर्टेन चीजें जो हैं वो बहुत कॉमन है. सब्जेक्ट वर्ब ऑब्जेक्ट हर किसी में, कोई ऐसी लैंग्वेज नहीं है जिसमें ये चीज ना हो, which is amazing. But at the same time, languages are different in the way these things are arranged. And we would learn more on this in the upcoming sessions. Ji Adil, it's okay. Acha. So human languages are so versatile. There are different kinds of languages. There are different ways people make sounds. कुछ languages के अंदर ऐसे sounds produce किए जाते हैं जो हम शायद pronounce कर ना पाएं. There are certain sounds in my mother tongue which you guys might find a little unfamiliar. For example, whenever we want to say water, we say til. Now the th wala jo aspect hai, it must be hard for you to pronounce because this particular sound does not exist in your language, and then there are certain sounds out there which I cannot pronounce, right? Maybe we haven't heard certain sounds jo dusre languages ke andar exist karte. So languages are very versatile. There are different kinds of languages. There are 6,500 languages worldwide, और सिर्फ पाकिस्तान के अंदर documented around 73 languages हैं. So it is very interesting कि इतने सारे languages जो हैं वो at once evolve हुए हैं. And languages are a great way to study a group of people. Languages are a great depiction of a certain culture. It's a great depiction of the state of mind of a certain group of people. So they're extremely interesting. At this point, I want to show you guys a few videos of certain languages that I personally find very intriguing. जब पहली दफा मैंने इन चीजों को देखा था मैं तो हैरान हो गई थी. There is this language called the whistling language, जिसमें they whistle to communicate with each other. वो इसलिए क्योंकि वो एक पहाड़ी इलाका है और वहां पे आवाज जो है वो इतना इजीली एक प्लेस से दूसरे प्लेस तक नहीं जा सकती. So they whistle like a bird would. So take a look at this.
But a good reason to listen a little bit closer.
And then there are these languages, especially I think Africa के अंदर इनको click languages कहा जाता है, जिसमें इस तरह के जो है sounds exist करते हैं. For example, take a look at this.
Yeah, clicking click.
How many clicks are there in your language?
There is 5 clicks in my language.
Do them for me.
So that's again very fascinating and something that's so unfamiliar. And then मैंने आपको शुरू में कहा था कि जब हम language produce करते हैं या linguistic sounds produce करते हैं तो it happens because of the air obstruction when on its way out of your mouth or your nose, right? But that's not always the case. In certain languages, कुछ sounds produce किए जाते हैं by taking in air rather than taking it out. For example, take a look at this.
Means yes. How do you say yes?
So rather than exhaling air or taking air out of their system, what these people do in order to say yes, they go. So that's very interesting. So ये बहुत ज़्यादा variety है languages के अंदर, and only a few of them are extensively studied. The most extensively studied language, I think, is English. So there is so much room, to add more knowledge to this particular field, which is why it's very interesting. And if any of you are interested in pursuing this field in the future, I would highly encourage you. But the message that I want you guys to take home today is that as a linguist हमें सबसे पहले ये चीज हमें सिखाई जाती है कि all languages are equal. कुछ languages structurally simple हो सकती हैं या फिर लग सकती हैं by face value, but all languages are equal and all languages matter. हमारी सोसाइटी के अंदर there is this concept कि certain languages they are associated with certain social classes. जैसे इंग्लिश को बड़ा associate किया जाता है with upper classes or education, but that's not true. Every language matters, every language is important, and every language is beautiful in its own way. And every language is equally complex. जब हम इनकी structure पढ़ेंगे तब आपको समझ आएगी कि हर language equally complex क्यों है. Of course, कुछ languages हैं which are more socially successful like English. English की vocabulary भी extensive होगी, लेकिन structurally speaking, all languages are equal, and we need to, as linguists or linguistics enthusiasts, we basically, what we need to do, the first thing that we need to do is to learn how to accept languages. और ये जो bias है हमारे जहन में related to languages, we need to get rid of that first. Punjabi is as good as English or Urdu. So no language is inferior than the other. So this is one major message that I want you guys to take home. And I think in the next session, we would learn different ways of studying a language. I'd come to questions. Different ways of studying a language, जिसके अंदर हम लोग speech production पे थोड़ा सा focus करेंगे, phonemes की production पे थोड़ा सा focus करेंगे, more anatomy, more more production of sounds, more of that. उसके अलावा हम syntax पे बहुत ज़्यादा focus करेंगे, which is the sentence structure. And sentence structure level पे जो है वो क्या होता है, हमारे brains में language किस तरह produce होती है, पहले simple sentences बनते हैं, फिर उनको मज़ीद complex हमारा जहन कैसे बनाता है, what are the theories behind it. We would discuss that, but of course in very simple terms. So it's going to be a great discussion. I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, Ateek has a question. Equal in what sense? अतीक, हमारी सोसाइटी के अंदर certain languages के साथ certain अच्छे और बुरे attributes को जो है वो associate किया जाता है, right? For example, you must have noticed कि if somebody is speaking English, they sometimes are considered very more important या more educated. राइट, अगर किसी का एक्सेंट है तो उनको तो बहुत ही ज्यादा अच्छा समझा जाता है. सो हम एक सोशल वैल्यू जो है वो एसोसिएट करते हैं विद अ सर्टेन लैंग्वेज, राइट? बट व्हाट आई वांट यू गाइस टू अंडरस्टैंड इज नो लैंग्वेज इज inferior than another language. Of course, all languages are equal, and when it comes to the structure, languages actually are equal, because अभी मैंने आपको बताया था certain principles हैं जो सारी languages के अंदर exist करते हैं. There are so many ways in which English is less complex than other languages. So ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है कि एक language जो है वो दूसरे language से ज़्यादा complex है, ज़्यादा successful हो सकता है. जैसे English is a global language, but deep down on structural level, on complexity level, all of them are the same. Usually associated with verbal mode of communication. Non-verbal gestures can also be considered. Adil, the sign language is actually considered a language. It is actually considered, it is a language because it is spoken by a certain group of people. So sign language is a language. And if you're talking about other forms of non-verbal communication like body language, that's not language per se, or not the kind of a language that we're discussing over here. But yes, of course, there are other modes of communication like ishare karna, certain आवाजें निकालना, which don't have anything to do with human language. या फिर आजकल तो और भी बहुत ज़्यादा sophisticated forms of communication आ गए हैं, like texting people, using emojis, using stickers and stuff. So all of that is a form of communicating. Non-verbal gestures could be or could not be a part of language, really depends on what you mean by them. If you're talking about sign language is a language. But if you're talking about other non-verbal gestures, would body language mein aa jate hain. They're not a part of the language per se, but they do help communicate things better. Gee, so anybody else has any question? Is English word a proper word for climatic or climatic changes? English word is a proper word for climate. I think it's climate change, but I don't know what this has to do with linguistics. Raised eyebrows. Oh yeah, the raised eyebrows jo hain wo it's a form of a body language. Again, it's not a part of the language that we are talking about, human language. लेकिन body language जो है वो जरूर आपकी मदद करती है to communicate things better. For example, you saying to someone के you've offended me wouldn't be as effective as you saying that and also raising your eyebrows, right? So it helps, but it's not a part of human language. Atik, you had your hand raised.
Yes, I have a question.
जी.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो आवाजें या जो साउंड्स या मखरज हमारी मदर लैंग्वेज में नहीं होती, क्या वो डेवलप की जा सकती है? मसलन चाइनीज के लिए उर्दू बोलना या अरेबिक बोलना उनके लिए बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स होता है. क्या वो आवाजें या मखरज बाद में डेवलप हो सकते हैं जो मदर लैंग्वेज में नहीं होती?
एक लैंग्वेज जब हम सीखते हैं, स्पेशली बचपन में तो आप सीख ही लेते हो, क्योंकि कहते हैं ना द चिल्ड्रन हैव अ कच्चा दिमाग, राइट? सो व्हेन यू टीच अ लैंग्वेज टू अ चाइल्ड, इट्स वेरी इजी फॉर देम टू एक्वायर इट. बट एज यू बिकम ओल्डर एंड ओल्डर, हमारे दिमाग की जो एबिलिटी होती है टू एक्वायर अ न्यू लैंग्वेज, इट काइंड ऑफ subdues with time. So of course you can learn a language. It's sort of easier to learn, let's say to understand a language or to write a language or to even speak a language. लेकिन उसमें हमारा जो अपना ओरिजिनल एक्सेंट है वो रह जाता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जब हम इंग्लिश बोलते हैं तो हम नेटिव्स की तरह नहीं बोलते. सो एक लैंग्वेज को मास्टर करने का जो लास्ट लेवल होता है, दैट इज द प्रोनाउंसिएशन लेवल, जिसमें यू मेक इट नियर नेटिव लाइक प्रोनाउंसिएशन. तो वो चीज तो विद प्रैक्टिस कुछ लोग कर भी लेते हैं और कुछ लोगों के लिए वो इम्पॉसिबल होता है. इट रियली डिपेंड्स ऑन द इंडिविजुअल. But yes, you can always train your vocal tract to make certain sounds, and this is tried and tested. I've made some of my Punjabi friends utter some of the sounds that exist in my language but not theirs. So you can do it, but it all happens with practice. The more practice you do, आपका vocal tract जो है वो इतना flexible है कि वो नए sounds को जो है वो acquire कर लेता है. You can, the more practice you do, the better you would get at it. Yes, anybody else? All right. So it's 7:30. Let me stop sharing my screen. So I hope this was an informative session for you guys. It was very introductory. I really hope none of you were overwhelmed by what we discussed. But जो हमारा next session होगा उसमें हम थोड़ा सा deeper जो है वो understanding लेंगे इन चीजों की, especially phonetics, phonology और syntax की. So have a great weekend. And if you have any questions, you can always send me an email. In the meantime, you can reach out to me. That's absolutely fine. And if you have certain things in mind that you think we can discuss in the next sessions, we would of course do that. You will have to reach out to me. Uske alawa, have a great weekend. Have a great New Year's. Right. So really looking forward to the second session. It's happening on January 2nd, I believe. Gee, I will share it right now. So it's happening on January 2nd. So please have your questions written down ताकि हम अगले सेशंस में जो हैं वो ये चीजें डिस्कस कर सकें जो आप करना चाहते हो. Let me stop the recording.